All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the Atlanta Falcons. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. He'll have a first down past the 40, and he's going to get this to the 40-yard line. 15 yards, first down, Atlanta. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well. And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins. And they're hoping to do it consistently here. Now a first carry for their fullback. Akeem Hicks that time on the tackle.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
It's second and 8 at the 42-yard line.
Check. Ready. Check. 53's Mike. Watch the run. Watch the run.
On second down now. It's Hines, and not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Well, now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in, 3rd and long, and that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. Thought they were going to force a 4th down. Instead, P.I. gives them the first.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
Now it's Hines. And an alley to run. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
53 is the mark. All day, dog.
Now Wilson on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And now he's going to use his legs. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
You know, I don't think this is the last time we'll see that in this game. This guy has mobility, and they want to use his legs in the game plan. So there will be designed runs as well as his scrambles.
Run left, run left. Rip right, rip right. Let's go, let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
Throwing again on second down. Wilson, they'll find Hines out of the backfield. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
15. 50's the mark. Watch the pass.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Oh, he almost picked him. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
Down. 60 out more. 59. You ready, man? You ready?
A first carry for the former Oklahoma Sooner, Joe Mixon. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Tackle made by Justin Evans. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
We want it.
A handoff to Mixon. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Joe Mixon, touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. And with his speed, if he just finds the slightest crease, he can take it the distance like he did there.
How about the leverage up front? Offensive line out-leveraging the defensive front to create that space, that crease that he was looking for. And once he hits open field, he's going to be very difficult to catch and corral.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And last time able to get 3. That's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kick. Trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Let's go, D.
Now a give, right side. Hines. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves them with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick, and they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Throwing to start the drive. Forbes, and he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Forbes. Got a man open. It's Ross. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Ready.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some.
On first down, they go option to the right. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And finally, wrestled down at the 11. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Joe Mixon with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
Hey, zero. Slam.
Here's a handoff to Hines to begin the drive. He'll have a first down past the 40 and all the way out to the 46. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
53 is the mic. We got to get the ball, D. Get the ball right here. Let's go. Alert flare. Mike, 53. 53. Mike.
Looking to throw on second down. Wilson, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
But it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. An incomplete pass on second down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Wilson. And Jeffrey's got it. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 26. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson. is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Zach Ertz, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are back within a single score. And he's such a talented tight end, just creates nightmarish-type matchups on the other side.
He's so good that when we say tight end, we're almost damning him with faint praise, aren't we? Because he can do it all. He's as good as any receiver in the NFL.
Well, that's the deal. He's a wide receiver, just in a bigger body.
Bigger body, a matchup nightmare, and who's going to cover him? When I sit in the film session, I just look at the coach and say, really? Really? You're going to yell at me? You go cover him.
Here's Myers now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Ready? 18 Gator. 52. In your face. Ready?
On second down, Mixon. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Come on, set. 60 or. 2, come on. Here we go.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Check 3, check 3, check 3. 36 power. Check the backer, check the backer.
Eight yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 42-yard line.
Green 80. Check 53 is Mike. All day. Go. 53 is Mike. 53.
On 2nd and a couple. Wilson, this is Miller, complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Let's go. Check 20, 14.
On first down, it's Hines. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
So don't say no. Hatch it. Let's go double count right here. Double count.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
I'm scared. $36.
Wilson throwing again. He'll let this go for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Operating from the gun. Forbes. He finds his running back, Mixon. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one good for 26 and a first down. See some head shaking on that defensive sideline because so much focus on taking away what he did last week as NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Big gain there for him to start.
I love your observation because you would think they'd be prepared for him after what he did the previous week. But sometimes that skill set actually intimidates a defense, and he used it to his great advantage.
Flush to his right. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10. Down at the 33. From the gun, Forbes. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. They brought the house that time on the young rookie, maybe a little rattled through the pick.
And you have to be prepared for a lot of pressure as a rookie quarterback because most defensive coordinators are going to test you that way. So when you see that, the ball's got to get out of your hands quickly, and that means your receivers have to understand.
And that's caught inside the 30. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 48 yards. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They run with Hines. Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On 2nd down and 4, Wilson. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct.
Down. 60 Pittsburgh.
It's our field. Hey, it's our house.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as it They'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
Set. 60 outlaw. General West. Snap.
They'll start out here with the option left. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. And look at this, the punt team is out there. Somebody better give them the memo that it's second down. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Here we go. 8 read.
53's mine. Watch the out. Watch the out.
To throw on second down, Forbes. They'll find Taylor. That's complete. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
5 yards on the play, and it's third down.
Okay, break.
53's the mic. Go, go, go.
Hey, Charlie.
53.
Clear. Get it.
On third down, Forbes. And that will be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Brett Maher now for the Cowboy field goal. They'll spot it at the 30, so this is a 40-yard attempt. Maher able to put this one through. And that moves them up by a touchdown now at 17-10. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
4 down, 4 Check.
Now Wilson to throw again. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked there by Nick Nelson. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys.
Now, that was a beautiful play. A pick six. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What, you mean with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Extra point by Moore, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3.
Let's go, fellas.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Cowboy first down.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move, and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Ready? 10-2, sir.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He finds Taylor. Complete. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So 3rd down, and the Falcons going with a dime, 6 defensive backs. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Miles Killebrew with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Let's go.
And that last penalty makes his 3rd down play a little more interesting. 3rd and 5.
High 7.
Operating from the gun. Forbes. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. Way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. The 30, 10, touchdown, Falcons. Nyheim Hines, an 80-yard touchdown as his guys are back within a single score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. I would say they went 3 and out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3 and out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1 and out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try to play field position maybe, turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, Forbes. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
To throw on 3rd down, Forbes. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the 1st down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot. Here's Matt Weil now as he's on to punt for Dallas. This is taken at the 15. Tremendous return there, 39 yards. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already.
Hey,
we got Mike, number 50.
On 1st down, Wilson. Flushed out right. He'll run it. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
To throw again on 2nd down, Wilson, and he's got the hook up to Landry. And he's taken down inside the 30. 10 yards there and a 1st down for the Falcons.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense, because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Wilson now 8 of 17 so far, under 50%. To throw is Wilson, operating from the gun. Caught by the tight end, Ertz. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now Wilson. Buying time to his left. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. It's picked up by the Cowboys.
That's be frank, you hate the fumble at the end of the play, but prior to that, I liked a lot of what was going on. Tucks it down, takes off, picks up good yardage. But in that portion of the field, that close to the sideline,
step out.
Yeah, either get down or get out of bounds. Take care of the ball.
Yeah, he had the yards, but then the mistake. Mixon gets the nod to start the drive. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Forbes. And this one complete to Smith. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On 3rd down, Forbes. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here?
Come on. Tight right. Hey.
They run again with Hines. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
To throw is Wilson. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 36. Wilson now. From the gun, he'll throw. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Gotta go, in and out. Let's go.
Check 13. Check 13.
To throw again. Wilson. And that's complete to Jeffrey. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Jeffrey brings up 3rd down.
The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. This is Hines. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Play action. It's Wilson. eluding the pressure right. And this is incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Makes it 3rd and 8.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun. Wilson. He may try and run for this. Oh, no, he lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. Does the big boy have the juice? The 40. And they finally put an end to this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37. So the turnover forced, and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies. They discuss it prior to, and everyone knows their role when they create a turnover like that.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's a give to Mixon, and he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
Recon, 132 fighter. Hey, team 6. Team 6. And shoot.
From the gun on 3rd down. Forbes. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Stephon Gilmore dials the corner blitz and earns the sack. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
Let's go!
At their own 25-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Good word. I like it now because you're exactly right.
That, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
At the 37-yard line.
Let's go, Mike.
Hey, guys, listen.
I got it.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Flush to his right. Going up top for Miller. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off inside the 10. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. They will get 4 yards here on the 1st down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Speed trip.
Again, it's Mixon. And an alley to run. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Escaping the pressure right. And this is incomplete. The intended receiver, Taywan Taylor. And it's 2nd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Hey, watch the slant. Check 99. Check 99. Kill.
Now Joe Mixon. And an alley to run. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one covers 29 yards. 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. 2nd and 6. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
It's 3rd down. And 6 yards to go.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Falcons grab it. And his crew will take over with the football at the 35-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. It's over the middle. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Now it's Wilson. And he'll hit Jeffrey complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd and goal.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. 2nd and goal. Here's Wilson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. 2 incompletions haven't moved him any closer. And likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here.
Here we go. 50. Mike 50.
18.
Now Wilson. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
I liked his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. They'll come out in the pistol. So a field goal gets you back within a score, but they're going to go for the bigger chunk here. Kicking team on the sidelines. Offense on for 4th down. They'll run for it with Hines. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Nyheim Hines, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point up and through by Myers. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. They'll have a first down past the 40. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
And that's the type of run that they're looking for because they'll need to continue to rely on them to move the sticks in this tight game in order to preserve this lead.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. This is Mixon. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 43-yard line.
Go, 18 Gator.
Hey, check.
Ready?
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
A loss of a yard on the play. And it's 3rd down.
And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first.
Go! Swish!
Come. Shoot.
Mixon with it. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. So a big one coming now for Brett Maher. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it, but it just kept carrying, and he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
What?
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47.
Ready.
Three down. Hey, check. 3 down.
Beat them.
The Cowboys on their way to victory as they take a knee.
It's a loss of a yard.
So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And I tell you, this was a fun one. Just a close game. Nothing comes easy in this league, as you know. They had to work for that victory.
I've got to go back to what you just said. Nothing comes easy in this league. How many times have we talked to coaches prior to a game and assessed, the strengths, the weaknesses, the whole deal? Even in games when one coach was a decided favorite, what do they always say to us? But you do know this is really a 7-point league. 7 points either way usually decides a ball game. We had exactly that in this one.
And not only that, but this is a gutsy road victory, one they can hang their hat on. So for the Cowboys, the win gets them back to 500 at 6-6 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Philly to take on the Eagles. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, they fall to 6-6 now on the campaign. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.